Hey everybody, Chris with Without Hikes. Welcome back. Good to see you. And today we're going to talk about what you're going to wear out there because you got most, if not all, of your stuff to take with you. But we haven't really talked about what you're going to wear. Now, let's think about this. Do you need special hiking clothing to go hiking, backpacking? Not exactly, but there are some things you want to avoid. All right, so what's going to work for you out there? You wear clothes every day. You wear whatever is appropriate to where you are. You're going to do that with backpacking as well. Let's start out with this. Cotton kills. Don't hike in blue jeans. Don't wear cotton socks. We've talked about that. If you haven't seen the video on footwear, I'm going to link that right up here at the end of the video. Go take a look because I'm not going to talk a lot about socks in this video because we've already gone over that. But stay away from cotton. So, blue jeans. That's a sin. Do not wear blue jeans out there. That's if they get wet, even if they don't get wet. They're not comfortable for hiking. You want something loose and comfortable that isn't cotton. Avoid cotton underwear, cotton shirts. So what's that leave? Well, I'll show you some of the things I have that have worked for me, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to go out there, be comfortable, and have something that's going to wick moisture away from you so that you don't get freezing cold or chafe. So I guess we can start with shirts. You can really wear just about anything out there. Cotton's not going to kill you if it's a sunny day, but again, you're going to want something comfortable, something that's going to wick moisture, and a cotton t-shirt's not the best thing for that. So I don't spend a lot of money on hiking shirts. I mostly hike in t-shirt style shirts. They're just most comfortable for me. There's other options. But I'm going to show you what I take, and that'll give you a starting point. So I've worn this shirt a billion times. Backpacking, it does not say what it's made out of. It's either polyester, nylon, spandex, but stretchy, wicks moisture away. And what's really helpful with this is the seam down here is actually separate, so that you don't have that seam rubbing against like your armpit area. These are super comfortable. I get them on Amazon, like 3-packs for, I don't know, maybe 20 some dollars. This is a brand called Athlio. Super cheap. These, when I found these ended up being my favorites, but you can find like workout shirts, things like that. Those are gonna work for you. But most of my shirts are these Athlio shirts, and they're really comfortable. No chafing. If I get wet, they dry quickly. And but I've got other types of shirts as well that I have found. So just a lot of stuff is clearance at Walmart or even at like a Goodwill store. So I don't even know a brand of this. This doesn't say anything on it, but it's kind of the same style. It is definitely not cotton. And if you can find shirts that have this kind of seam under the armpit, that's going to be way more comfortable for you while you're out there because you're doing a lot of this. All right. So those are t-shirt style shirts. As far as pants go, like I said, don't wear jeans. I might have worn jeans when I started out because that's what I had. And then I started buying like khakis, things like that. You can get specific hiking pants. I personally prefer the hiking pants that have zippers that are able to convert into shorts. Now, a lot of people make fun of those. I think it's kind of handy not to have to wear or pack rather extra clothes if, you know, I may be wearing shorts sometimes, pants others. It's nice to not pack extra stuff. Just pull the legs off if I want to wear shorts. And you can wear shorts. You can wear athletic shorts. You can just wear whatever. But these hiking pants are generally lighter, convertible, have a lot of room to move, and generally they're not cotton. So some of the pants I've got lots of pants, I've got lots of shorts, because I just buy stuff when I find a good deal on it. My go-to, this style. So as you can see, at this point here, there's a zipper. You can take these off and turn them into shorts. They've got several pockets, very light, very thin, and they have mesh in them, and lots of pockets for you to put your stuff. Now, this particular one is Columbia, and I've found that the Columbia pants seem to be my favorite. They cost a little more. You can find them at a secondhand store. I found a few pairs. Go to the outlets. But these work great. And again, they're light. And so generally that is the style I go with. These are a little heavier, but the same kind of idea. These are from White Sierra. So a cheaper pants. Again, that you can use out there. Some others, again, these are the same kind of thing. These are also Columbias, and they've got the zip short. I have a lot of pants. I don't bring a lot of pants. I bring one pair of pants. And some heavier ones here, but again, the same kind of idea that we've got these pants that convert into shorts. How many pairs of pants do you need? At this point, no matter how many days I'm going out, the answer is one. When I first started, I took extra pants, extra shirts, extra underwear, extra socks. You're gonna want extra some stuff, underwear. You don't want to wear the same pair of underwear for 8 days. Some people don't agree with that. Those people are gross. Pants, one pair of pants. You're going to get dirty out there. They're going to get worn. I've ripped them out there. It's fine. I didn't die because I didn't have a spare pair. Pants are going to be extra weight. How many shirts are you going to need? Well, I generally will take one, but sometimes it's icky after 6 days of hiking with one shirt. So maybe I'll bring a spare. And sleeping clothes, that's a separate thing. But yeah, maybe an extra shirt if you want. But again, not cotton. Okay. Now, as far as underwear goes, no cotton. That's going to be very unpleasant. So what do I use? Various things. Again, I don't go to an REI and find special hiking or backpacking underwear. I've got just various ones. None of them are, don't look at my underwear. None of these are going to be cotton. Most of them are for like running, working out, things like that. This is a brand called AND1. I found these probably at a Costco, I think. But all the companies have them. These Hanes, they're like spandex, and they feel really good, help prevent chafing. So this is the kind of underwear you're going to want. If you're a guy, if you're a girl, I don't know. I don't understand girls. Probably the same sort of thing, though. Some starter underwear, Hanes. These are Champion. So I just have picked up different pairs specifically for backpacking. I don't wear these in everyday life. They go in the gear closet. So underwear, not cotton. Everything, not cotton. We've talked about socks in another video. If you haven't watched that video, it'll be up here at the end. And what else are we going to wear out there then? Do you want a hat? It's good for sun protection. I don't usually wear a hat backpacking, I usually wear a buff. Let's take a look at some of those. All right, so a buff. What is a buff? If you watch Survivor, you know what a buff is. A buff is basically a tube, a neck gaiter, a gaiter being something that keeps dirt and grime out of other places, but I digress. I love the buff. Some people think they're ridiculous. You can use a handkerchief or whatever. I find a lot of uses for these. I actually, most of the time when I'm hiking, will wear a buff on my head. Because it's multi-use, but it is just essentially a tube. Carl Mandrioli on the Backpacking and Blisters podcast, he doesn't see the point in buffs. Not that they're not useful, but these are like $20. And he makes kind of a good point when he says you can essentially just cut off your shirt sleeve and use it for the same thing and save $20. But I love my buffs. I have several. Actually found this one in Hawaii. Somebody had left it on the trail. They have a lot of uses, and what I use it for is protection for my head. I'm balding and don't always like to wear a hat because, you know, the sweatband gets sweaty, irritates me a little. I will wear it sometimes, but for the buff, generally turn it inside out. I'm going to place this on my head, pull it over. This is giving me neck protection on the back, sun protection on the top, and easy on, easy off. Can use it for other things, rags, pot holder, stuff like that. So that buff's an idea. If you don't have a lot of money and you're just starting out, a buff's a stupid idea because, again, $20 for a piece of cloth when you can pick up a baseball cap at a Goodwill for $1. But headwear, probably important unless you got lots of hair and, you know, you're using sunscreen, that's fine. Some people wear sun hats, wide brim hats, whatever's comfortable for you, for your head, if anything at all. But I use the buff and sometimes these. If you're wearing a bug net, you're going to want a baseball style cap. So what else to wear? Well, you've got your hiking shoes or boots or trail runners. You've got your socks. Hopefully, again, if you haven't watched the video, it's going to be up there. Shameless plug. So, how about base layers? People talk about base layers. What are base layers? Let's take a look. So, essentially, the idea of base layers is most backpacking books and instructors will talk about a layer system. You got base layers and mid layers and shells, and you know, when it's hotter you take off clothes, and when it's colder you put more on. So a base layer, basically the way I conceptualize it, is long underwear. I don't really use base layers. I just wear underwear and the t-shirt and then the hiking pants and things like that most of the time. If I am on Mount Hood, Mount Shasta, doing a summit, 2 in the morning, then the base layers are important. But mostly I take base layers for sleeping. So what I have generally, this is a brand called 32 Heat. You find them at Costco a lot. But really just long underwear. I look for lighter but warm. These are helpful at night when it gets cold. And I also wear these in the snow, on the mountain, in the middle of the night for extra warmth. Otherwise, I'm not wearing these when I'm just hiking normally. And the tops are going to be similar. So again, this should be the same brand. Yes, 32 Heat. And just basically long, warm, light layers. You know, think of your grandpa's thermals. But those are base layers. For me, yeah, mostly for sleeping. You don't have to have them for sleeping. And if it's warm out, you know, not a thing, but it's a nice thing to have. If you're going to have backpacking gear, good to have base layers. Those are from Costco. There's lots of brands. You can look around if that's something you want to get. They certainly are helpful in the cold. Okay, before we get into cold weather, things like coats, just a couple of more options when you're on the trail. I wear short sleeves. It also means I use a lot of sunscreen. And I just recently picked up the sun hoodie. So the idea of hiking in the summer, in the heat, the idea of long sleeves really makes me nervous, but these are super popular, and I'm going to admit, watching YouTube videos and all the influencers, a lot of people use sun hoodies, and I'm a big fan of Outdoor Vitals. They have one, but I'm actually bought this. It's from a company called Baleaf. I believe that's how you say it. This was inexpensive and on sale, so I'm going to give it a try. This is going to cover your arms in the sun, and sun hoodie. You can also pull this over your head. Now, this isn't just a shirt. It actually has sun protection. So this is like SPF 50. So this is an idea. Again, I started with a cheap one because I want to try them out before I really invest, because I may hate this thing and you may too, but it's an option. So you can think about that, or just long sleeves like this that I picked up somewhere cheap. And this is high tech, but you know, these are going to be spandex, nylon, polyester, whatever. But these have some sun protection added. So we're going to try this one out. You're not going to know if this works for me until after August, because I'm really not going to be using it until then. But if it's something you want to look into, do it. You'll use less sunscreen. Maybe you'll save hundreds of dollars over the course of your backpacking career. Even in the summertime, a lot of times when the sun goes down, it gets pretty chilly. What do you want to be wearing then? Well, you want something warm. And as always, we want to go light. So for different situations, you're going to possibly want a different outer layer. But if it's summertime, and I know it's going to be chilly at night, but hot in the daytime, I'll just bring a down jacket, a puffy jacket. Now, these can be very expensive because they are filled with down, which is, you know, what keeps geese or ducks dry and warm. So I suggest looking for responsibly sourced down, cruelty-free, basically. That's my own thing, whatever. So I've got a few. Before I had a lot of money, I just picked this one up. This is an REI Co-op men's down jacket. It's not super, super heavy, so it's not going to keep you warm in like 0 degrees. But it's very light. It compacts down. This is great on an August trip, but if I know it's going to get chilly after the sun sets or in the middle of the night. Also, you can use it as a pillow at night. If it gets too cold in your sleeping bag, you can put it on. So this has worked really well for me, but it also wasn't really warm enough for every situation. So I picked up one that was definitely warmer and definitely more expensive. And as you can see, this has got so much more loft and fluff in it. And I love this. It's Mountain Hardwear. So it's definitely more expensive. I actually got this at the employee store for Columbia. They have purchased Mountain Hardwear. And because of where I work, I get invitations to those stores with great discounts. So, but you don't have to buy a name brand. There is a brand called decathlon on the internet that's pretty popular for budget clothing. A lot of people use their puffy jackets. But this is really great. And again, because it's down, it's fairly light, compacts down. And then I've got another one here, and this one is from Outdoor Research. And the reason I have this is because it was required to have a hooded down jacket when I went with the guide service Mount Hood, and I'm glad I did because it's very, very warm. But is a down jacket going to be your only option? Absolutely not. It's going to be your lightest option. And, you know, a lighter pack makes a more comfortable hiker. But there's other options. Those other options include fleece. And I have several, and I pick them up. Again, I'll buy them at secondhand stores or whatever. This is a Hager. I don't even know if this is fleece, but it's just kind of a jacket for when it gets a little more chilly. Got this Columbia pullover fleece, and I don't wear this much. I'm not a big fan of pullovers, but this would keep you warmer on those chilly nights in the summertime. And another pullover from Mountain Hardwear. I don't recall where I found this, but this one's fluffy and warm. The thing with fleece, it's going to weigh more if you're wearing, but here's the other thing, is if you're cold on the trail and you need a warmer layer and you choose a down jacket, that could be a problem because you're going to sweat. And when down gets wet, it takes forever to dry out and it loses its insulating abilities. So fleece, while you're hiking, if you're too cold to hike in a t-shirt, not going to be a bad idea. In fact, I have this fleece jacket. This is Mountain Hardwear as well. The first Mountain Hardwear item I ever bought, and I have used this on so many trips. So it's kind of ratty. And again, you don't need to buy Mountain Hardwear. You can find cheap fleece jackets, so not a bad idea at all, especially if you're wearing them while hiking, but they're not going to be really expensive. They're also not going to keep you super warm when it's 0 degrees. You want a down jacket for that. Or, you know, you don't have to buy down. Down jackets are expensive. You can get jackets that have synthetic fill. They tend to be a little heavier, but you can shop around. I mean, your regular winter coat will be fine if that's what you have. But what if it rains? Okay, that can be a problem. So if it rains, you're probably going to want a rain jacket because otherwise you're going to get cold, especially if you're wearing cotton. So I've picked up rain jackets over the years, and I've had to use them a couple of times. I've been very fortunate. But on the Mackenzie River Trail, it rained most of the time. And that was a good lesson in selecting rain gear. But you can get all kinds of rain jackets. You can get something like this. It's super heavy, totally inappropriate to take. But it's the first rain jacket I ever got when I lived on the coast. And it's insulated, but you don't want something like that for backpacking. You can get something that's a little more inexpensive. This seems to be a great rain jacket. I haven't used it yet. Having a hood with a rain jacket is pretty essential, by the way. Again, this is pretty heavy. I don't want to take that, especially if I'm not wearing it all the time. Otherwise, I'm packing it, right? So, a couple of other options. Now we're getting down into the lighter stuff, and these are both, I believe, Columbia jackets, and this is lightweight, and this is, I believe, what I had on the Mackenzie River Trail, and after several days, I still got wet, right, but it was raining the whole time. But super helpful. This is a lot lighter. You're gonna spend some money. If you're getting a rain jacket. Here's another Columbia rain jacket. This one, also fairly lightweight, and that's great and important. You're generally not going to find cheap rain gear that's going to work. but you can. A secret in the backpacking community is a brand called Toggs, and you can find these in a lot of places, and they're light and they work really well, and they're thin and they're not going to last you forever. But I picked these up knowing I might get permits to the Wonderland Trail and knowing that it rains a lot in Washington. And I have these rain jackets, but I know these are going to work, and they're brand new. And so this is going to keep the rain out. These are super light, and this is jacket and pants. If you want rain pants, cool. Not a fan. They're just awkward. I'm fine with wet legs. It kind of sucks, so this might be good. But the jacket, Toggs, these are, I think it was like 20, 25 bucks maybe for the pants and jacket. So Toggs. If you're starting out, you don't want to spend a bunch of money, either because you don't have a bunch of money or you are still trying to figure out if you're going to like backpacking or not, but you think it's going to rain or there's any chance that it might rain, Toggs are the way to go. So I would put a link on there, but I don't want to go to that trouble. So just take a look on Amazon or just do a Google search. Toggs. What else do you need? I don't know. Gloves, depending on the setting, and depending on where and when you're going, gloves are gonna just your choice. What's appropriate for that setting? Maybe the cheap fleece gloves. If you're going up a mountain, you're gonna want to spend money on warm gloves and possibly mittens, but it's not what we're doing here. We're not climbing mountains. We're getting out there backpacking for the first time. So you'll get there if you really, really, really dig this and pursue it further and further. So that's an idea. But so these are things to wear. I've probably forgotten some things, and if there's something obvious I've forgotten, please leave a comment below, and I want to hear about that. And now you have almost all of your gear, except I forgot one more thing, and that's like what happens when it gets dark, right? So we'll do a video on lights, headlamps, lanterns, things like that. But I'm ready. Good to see you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Because a secret among backpacking community members, like we're a club, like pay your annual dues. No, but on the Mackenzie River, the rain pants, an umbrella. No, I just kind of geek out on that brand after, reading the book by one of the co-founders, but you don't need to know that. That's just dumb, And because they're nice to the ducks. I don't know how that works, but for different, how many pairs of shirts? How many pairs of shirts, Chris?